Hi, this is Garvey Campbell, and you are watching Carnival 24. Coming up. The World Creole Music Festival may be cancelled because of the virus. Junkanoo has been pushed back to spring 2021. Spotify gets ready for the Notting Hill Virtual Carnival. Cuba begins trials for a potential vaccine to the virus. The CDC issues a level 4 travel advisory for Caribbean countries. And finally, British Airways launches new flights to Barbados. Keep watching. We hope you enjoy this week's show. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and if you're watching this on Facebook and want to see our most recent stories today, then make sure you subscribe to the Carnival 24 YouTube page, where we release these videos 2 weeks early, each and every 2 weeks. And click on the YouTube bell icon or use the link in the description to sign up to our mailing list and make sure that you don't miss any of our shows in future. And also, in light of how tough things have been recently, we're going to be giving away 2 of our sponsored slots in 2 of our upcoming shows. It's no secret that the virus has had an impact on many of the things that bring us together. It's affected our ability to socialise, it's had a big impact on businesses, and it's also affected our ability to travel locally and internationally. But just because things are slow, it doesn't mean that they should stop. And in light of this, we're going to be giving away 2 of these sponsored slots worth £4,000 each in order to shine a spotlight on some of the great things that are still happening despite the problems caused by the virus. The 2 lucky winners will be businesses that represent or support the cultures that we discuss on this channel. So that could be a rum brand, a restaurant, travel agent, tourism board, or you might be an exporter that wants to let people outside of your country know more about your product. The video will go out on our international mailing list and will be seen by tourism boards, government officials, and of course, many of you who've already subscribed to our YouTube channels or signed up to our mailing list so you don't miss any of our shows. So no matter where you are in the world, if you want to see your business, destination, product or service right here, then send an email to contact us at carnivalnetwork.co.uk with information on what you want promoted and how it can benefit the Carnival 24 audience. The closing date is the 16th of September and we'll contact the winners within the next 3 days. Please remember to include links to your social media and websites. And now, on with the show. The 2020 World Creole Music Festival may be the latest victim of the global pandemic. This year, the number of major festivals celebrated around the Caribbean and the world have been cancelled due to the virus. The latest potential cancellation is the World Creole Music Festival, which is one of Dominica's biggest events that lasts for 3 days and attracts visitors from within and outside the Caribbean during the final week in October. Dominican Health Minister Dr. Irvin McIntyre spoke recently on the state-owned DBS radio with the prediction that the staging of the World Creole Music Festival may have to be postponed or cancelled. During the radio interview, he made it clear that his prediction is based upon the current information held by the government of Dominica by saying, "At this point in time, with the data available and the international situation regarding the pandemic, it's not on the cards at the moment, but that's based on the science available and the facts and figures we have based on the virus internationally." He also added that the Ministry of Health would not be in favour of an event that has such a large gathering of people in a single venue and in close proximity. Dr. McIntyre pointed out that the final decision has not yet been taken, but added that the ministry is in the process of making that decision, and they will most likely not be in favour of letting the World Creole Music Festival go ahead based upon the current situation. And he closed by saying that their decision will be announced very shortly. Before the onset of the virus, Marva Williams, the events coordinator at the Dominica Festivals Committee, announced in January that the World Creole Music Festival will be held 1 week earlier than the customary Independence Weekend in Dominica, from October the 23rd to October the 25th. However, as early as May, after the pandemic had been declared, the Director of Tourism and the CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority hinted at the possibility of the cancellation when he stated that no decision had been made for the staging of the 2020 World Creole Music Festival. In the Bahamas, lovers of the Junkanoo Festival will have to wait until spring in order to celebrate. National Junkanoo parades may see a spring 2021 revival as officials seek to bolster its virtual platform during the pandemic. The Junkanoo Festival is celebrated each year in the Bahamas, Jamaica and Belize, with people coming together every Boxing Day and New Year's Day to take part in street parties and parades in order to celebrate the local culture with friends, good food and great music. In a recent statement, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture said that recent projections indicated that the effects of the pandemic are likely to continue up until the end of 2021. In order to plan ahead, the ministry has held meetings with stakeholders of the Junkanoo community in the Bahamas, along with the Office of the Prime Minister, to consider the best alternatives for celebrating one of the country's most important celebrations of local culture. The Bahamas is the latest in a long line of tourist destinations that is having to rethink how and when they can plan for events for locals and visitors. And currently the pandemic has affected businesses, the local entertainment sector, and life in general for the people of the Bahamas. Representative groups of the Junkanoo community have been keeping spirits high, creating professional, culturally intriguing and creative virtual Junkanoo presentations during the pandemic, receiving lots of likes, comments and shares from virtual spectators locally and internationally. And while the future is still uncertain, preparations are now being made in order to create a virtual edition of the Junkanoo Festival. However, the Ministry of Health, supported by the National Junkanoo Committee and in partnership with the Junkanoo Corporation, are working closely with the wider Junkanoo community in the Bahamas in order to relaunch physical Junkanoo activities commencing spring 2021. And the government has already allocated a budget that will be used to support the execution of an agreed and approved strategic plan for the relaunch of Junkanoo. If you want to find out more about travelling to the Bahamas or the Bahamian Junkanoo, we recommend you visit the Bahamas tourism website at www.bahamas.com. As Notting Hill Carnival moves entirely online, Spotify has announced a full lineup for its own dedicated Carnival microsite. The online music platform Spotify is helping to take the Notting Hill Carnival online by showcasing a variety of entertaining online Carnival content on a unique website. The platform will include 40 Notting Hill Carnival sound systems, hold playlist takeovers from big names, feature DJs that would normally be heard on the streets of Notting Hill, and offer podcasts covering Carnival lifestyle. To celebrate the contributions of black talent in the UK, Spotify has also brought on an all-black creative team with design and production led by culture curators Portia Clark and Elliot Jack, as well as creatives from the black-owned design house Pack Works, and interviewer and assistant to Ekwa King, Kwesi Dean. Spotify is also being supported by some of the UK's leading black creators working in music, film and entertainment in order to guide fans through some of its most popular playlists, which will be dedicated to Notting Hill Carnival. The platform promises to give fans the chance to explore over 40 of the official Notting Hill Carnival sound systems and on-the-road DJs. You can check in with King Tubby's, which is Carnival's oldest sound, Rampage Sound, which is one of Carnival's most coveted spots, the Prince of UK Soca, Martin J, and they'll also host Notting Hill Carnival's only all-female sound system, Seduction City Sound. In a statement by Sulina Ong, who's the head of music at Spotify UK, she said, "Notting Hill Carnival is such an important celebration of Caribbean heritage for communities in London and beyond, enriched in tradition and activism and lived through music and dance. While it can't take place in its usual way, it's key that the celebration continues in homes, living rooms and gardens, especially given the current climate. If you're a Spotify user, you can get in the mood for the big weekend from August 30th to August 31st by heading to the dedicated Spotify and Notting Hill Carnival microsite at www.spotify.com/carnival. Cuba has become the first Caribbean country to start clinical trials for a potential vaccine for the virus. Trials for the new vaccine called Soberana 1 began this month with results due in February 2021. The vaccine was developed by the state-run Finlay Institute, which was established in the early 90s and is a leader in Cuban health technology, producing various vaccines for the prevention of bacterial, viral and parasitic diseases. The potential vaccine will be delivered in 2 injections during the trials that will involve 676 people aged between 19 and 80 years old. The communist-run island prides itself on its biopharmaceutical industry, which was started by their former leader, Fidel Castro. The industry is an important hard currency earner and already produces several vaccines that are used in other countries throughout the world. Kirill Dmitriev, head of Russia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, told Cuban state news agency Prensa Latina that Cuba could even be one of the places it could choose to produce the vaccine from November onwards. Authorities in Cuba say their treatments for the virus have already helped it to reduce mortality in sufferers. Cuba is also the country that used the antiviral agent interferon B to treat carriers of the virus long before other producers recognised its effectiveness in treating the virus, and currently dozens of countries have expressed an interest in buying it. Currently, Cuba has 11 million inhabitants who live on the island, and the outbreak has been controlled through contact tracing and isolation of potential carriers, and as a result, Cuba has registered just a handful of deaths in the last few months, bringing their total to 88 deaths and 3,482 confirmed cases since the start of the outbreak in March. For further information regarding the trials, we recommend visiting the Finlay Institute website, although in order to understand, you will have to speak Spanish. Donald Trump has advised US nationals to avoid non-essential travel to the Caribbean. Although the United States has the highest number of people affected by the virus, the Trump administration has warned US nationals against travelling to several Caribbean countries because of the pandemic. On August the 7th, the United States Centre for Disease Control and Prevention updated its travel health notices for several countries in the Caribbean region, placing them under Level 3 warning. This means US citizens should avoid all non-essential travel to those destinations due to the risk of contracting the virus. Countries include many of the destinations within the Caribbean such as Montserrat, Belize, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Haiti, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, and more. The CDC said if someone gets sick with the virus, they may be isolated or not permitted to return to the United States until they've fully recovered from the illness. The warning also stated that some Caribbean countries have also been placed under a level 1 warning. This means United States travellers should practice usual precautions, as over the last 28 days new cases of the virus in these destinations decreased or stabilised. It said, stating that the islands under this watch include St. Bart's, Saba, St. Eustatius and Bonaire. The Prime Minister of Dominica wrote to US officials complaining about the decision by Washington to place Dominica and other CARICOM countries on a list of high-risk countries, challenging them to view the facts and figures on the spread of the virus in those countries and branding the travel advisory as unnecessary. According to the latest figures, the United States has recorded 162,000 deaths and 5.05 million infections as a result of the virus, while the worldwide figures are 732,000 deaths and 19.9 million infections since the first case was detected in China last December. By comparison, Dominica has recorded 18 confirmed cases and no deaths. Only Haiti, Jamaica, the Bahamas and Trinidad and Tobago have registered in excess of 200 positive cases and nearly 100 deaths within CARICOM. Roosevelt Skerritt queried why the United States would want to create this problem and closed by saying that it's unfortunate that this was done and I'm hoping that the United States will fix this. We've written to them formally objecting to this decision. Barbados is getting new year-round flights from the UK for the first time in 15 years. With its incredible beaches, delicious food, rum and sunshine, it's no surprise that Barbados is often found on the bucket list of many people looking to take a vacation from work with family and friends. British Airways recently announced that holidaymakers in the UK are about to get a wider choice of flights when it comes to planning future trips to the Caribbean island, as a new year-round flight service is launching later this year. For the first time in 15 years, Barbados will be served by a year-round direct and daily flight from the UK. British Airways will be operating the route from London Heathrow, which is expected to begin on the 17th of October 2020, on board the airline's 4-class Boeing 777-200 aircraft. The airline also offers daily flights from London Gatwick, with these set to run from October 2020 to April 2021. Currently, the Foreign Commonwealth Office does not advise against travel to Barbados. However, we do recommend checking their website for the latest travel updates before planning any of your trips. The island's Minister of Tourism and International Transport, Senator Lisa Cummings, revealed that Britain continues to be the island's main source of visitors, with 234,658 recorded British arrivals in 2019, which is approximately a third of the total number of visitors to the island from around the world. In light of the new flights, Lisa Cummings said, "For more than 15 years, Barbados has been engaging British Airways on the re-establishment of London Heathrow as the gateway to Barbados following the retirement of its Concorde service. We are therefore thrilled to see this finally come to fruition, as it opens the door for us quite literally for growth opportunities in cities and continents that were once out of reach." If you'd like to find out more about Barbados and what the island offers, we recommend visiting the Barbados website, visitbarbados.org. So, those are our stories for this week. And this week's tune of the week is Let Compassion Reign by Ajamu from Grenada, accompanied by a series of top-notch Grenadian artists. One of the Caribbean's top veteran entertainers, Ajamu's music reflects the variety of spices and musical art forms prevalent in Grenada and the Caribbean. He's adept in calypso, soca, parang and reggae, and few Caribbean entertainers can match him for his ability to write music, compose sharp and deep lyrics, or arrange music. Ajamu has won Grenada's Calypso Monarch 9 times and has also won titles for Road March and Soca Monarch. And he's also written, arranged and produced songs for several top Grenadian and international calypsonians. So, we really love this tune and we know you all too. This is Garvey Campbell and you have been watching Carnival 24. We'll see you next time.
Bless greetings, people. Let me say a special thanks to the Carnival Network for their love and their support. My name is Edson Ajamu Mitchell from Grenada. I am a music producer, songwriter, and performer. I've been in the music industry for over 3 decades. My goal is to make a positive impact on the world with my music.
In this time of great sorrows and pain, we gotta show compassion. We gotta show love.
We should not let things remain the same. We need to show compassion. We need to show love. Yes.
If tomorrow should yield another chance to return to normal again, But if we keep acting like careless fools and wouldn't show compassion and wouldn't show love, only talk, only thoughts and dreams of peace will be impossible to find.
We'll only live to fight another day.
Another day
That's the ones that rest on our minds.
on our mind. Oh, let us walk on this thing together. Let's do it for our children's future. If we change our selfish behavior, this whole world could be so much sweeter. So let compassion reign. Let us mend that chain. Let us all embrace love and make this world a better place. Yo, 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 yo. Mr. Legs, alright, yo. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the world needs now is love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the world needs now is love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the world needs now is love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the people need now is love.
Mother Earth crying out in despair. So we got to show compassion. We got to show love.
Pollutions fill the streets and the air. So we need to show compassion. We need to show love. It's imperative that we play a part to protect the environment. So now I'm challenging you to make the start. Don't sit aside and don't be complacent. Oh, you mean? What? Mother is sending a warning. She fed up with the human crop.
All these diseases that keep on spreading. Help us, God. It's our own way of saying stop.
So let compassion reign.
Let it rain, let it rain, let it rain, let it rain.
Let us mend the chain.
Let us all embrace love and make this world a better place.
Everybody. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the world needs now is love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the people need now is love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the world needs now is love. What the world needs now, what the world needs now, what the people need now is love. Let compassion reign. Let us mend that chain. Let us all embrace love and make this world a better